Welcome back, everybody, to today's session of the Power Platform Advanced Calendar. Today, I want to share you something about Canvas apps. Normally, I'm more talking about Dataverse and model-driven apps, and I'm trying to get both into this video. So when someone starts with Canvas apps, normally one of the first things they are trying out, or I also tried out years ago, and it's still the same experience as clicking on create. Then you see you have some different starting points. And as I said, I want to start with Dataverse or working with Dataverse. I clicked on Dataverse, added my connection, and then the Power Platform, the Canvas apps allows you to select a table, connect it, and then the first app will be created automatically for you. And I think everyone had the same experience. What you will get out of the box is not quite the best or the most beautiful experience of an application. It's functional, so you have a search bar, you have a title, you can add new records, you can scroll through a gallery. It even has the possibility to see details and edit the details, create new records. So it's really functional, but it's not beautiful. And yeah, that's a first impression that I think everyone who starts either with a default SharePoint or Dataverse model gets. And yeah, so there are some different possibilities to build your application. So first of all, there's already a new out-of-the-box functionality to create your application. So for example, you can go to the app and click on New App, Start with Data, and select with an existing table. So now I also have the possibility to select my Dataverse table. And what I now get is not a phone application, but it's a tablet application following or having a new design and some new design principles already included. So it looks directly a little bit more appealing. And you can see on the left side, there are containers used. Containers will help to make this app directly out of the box with a responsive layout. So it will follow the layout of a tablet or phone and shrink automatically. You will have a gallery on the left, a detail page on the right, and it already looks a little bit, in my opinion, appealing than the first apps that I showed. But still, you have the big blue box at the top of the application, and it's still not fitting in. For example, if you use model-driven apps and want to use a custom page inside a model-driven app, it's not fitting. The layout of the application is not meant to be integrated, for example, in a model-driven app, in a Dynamics 365 app. So it's also not what I'm personally looking for when I'm working with Canvas apps. There are other MVPs, users in the Power Platform, who have created some resources that can be used to make Canvas apps even more appealing. So a few years ago, Sancho Hacker, I think his Twitter name is I Am Mancat, has created some theming template or branding template, which you can use to brand your application. Then there are Louise and Robin, who have created some material design components, which you can find on GitHub. This is a application that they provide in their GitHub repository, where you can see what is possible. So if you click through the different pages. You can see, for example, that they have created some text components or buttons or other controls that are following the material design by, I think, Google. It's original provided. So it's something which is familiar to web design, but it's also not fitting into the other Office 365 or Dynamics 365 applications. So it's more for standalone applications, but even better than what we have seen before. And then you have also different options to make these applications more beautiful. For example, if you're familiar with HTML, you can combine HTML components with SVG and the Canvas apps, so you can have some appealing design like this. There's also an MVP, Christine, who has her own GitHub repository and blog where you can follow her, and she shows how you can build these kind of resources. But Microsoft just has a new feature in preview at the moment. So when you start with your application, and I will start with an empty one. Give me a second. Create blank app. You have some modern controls in preview at the moment, which you can activate in your Canvas apps. And these modern controls can be used to get a design which helps you to integrate it in other Office 365 or Dynamics 365 applications. So first of all, you have to go to the settings, upcoming features, and activate it, because it's at the moment still in preview. Some of these controls, as it's written here, are already generally available, and the rest maybe end of this year, beginning of the next year. So at the moment, it's still to be found here under upcoming features. And when you click then on this plus, you will see you have here a new area, modern controls. And these modern controls, I can add these, will look more like what you're experienced. For example, if you look at a model-driven app, the font will fit in, and yeah, it looks directly more like a model-driven app. And you have here these features. And one additional positive thing, in my opinion, is if you are working with Canvas apps, you're often using galleries. And all the features I have shown before, like the material design components from Louise and Robin, and also the HTML components, they are not working within a gallery. There's a limitation of the gallery control. It's not working inside. But with these modern controls, I can now select my gallery and, for example, add a button or combo box directly within the Canvas app or is a gallery, and it's supporting working with galleries. So that's the next benefit, and you can build here with these modern controls then custom pages that can be added to your model-driven apps and will fit in from the layout better than the old components, the classic components. Just to compare, if I add a button here, it directly looks not like an model-driven app when it's embedded inside. So I hope you will use the modern controls in the future more often when they are generally available, hopefully beginning of the next year. And then I will also bring more information on my blog, what you have to do to change your existing applications your existing controls to the new modern controls, because their Microsoft is not consistent. So you have to change some of the formulas you used in your Canvas apps if you want to change to the modern controls. I hope this was a short overview what is possible in different Canvas designs, and that you shouldn't stick with what is out of the box. There are other ways to make your applications more appealing. And one topic I missed to say, and which is also referring to Sancho's branding themes. So the new controls are using theming. So when you're using them, you can change the color through all your pages directly, or all your screens, and all your different items are changing directly. You don't have to go there and change each of the items individually, what is necessary with the old classic controls. Thanks a lot, and yeah, enjoy your Christmas time.
This is the first time that I heard someone say it looks more like a model-driven app and means this is a benefit.
Definitely.
But you're absolutely right. The modern controls are looking way better, and yes, this is an improvement.
It's so when you're coming from a Dynamics 365 or maybe also Office 365, Teams, for example, is using the modern controls or similar modern controls also. So if you're using these applications and you have the possibility to embed a Canvas app or use a custom page, then every time you see these Canvas pages within a model-driven app or a Microsoft 365 app, it's a break in the user experience, a break in the design.
Yeah.
And it's really a hustle to fit it in, make it responsive, make it looking similar to what you are used to in this application. So everyone notices it. And this is a step to make it more usable and to have a better integration.
Yeah, and the default controls from Canvas apps are just plain ugly. Let's just say it.
Yes. and they haven't changed for the past 5 years. So what I say,
it's unusual for Microsoft. It's unusual for Microsoft to not change something within 5 years.
And what I missed, what is also quite cool feature, the new screen button now supports the responsive designs. So if you have old Canvas apps, it might be now the time when the modern controls are generally available to recreate your Canvas apps. Think about what controls you want to use and maybe how the screen should look, because these screens are, as I said before, directly responsive. And in the past, you had to do with calculations and workarounds your apps more responsive. And that's really a benefit as well.
I guess
Absolutely.
we have to do a video for the 25th to show the connectors. So because that is actually awesome, and then connect to wherever.
All right. Thanks for this tip.
Thank you very much.